Welcome back to the channel, my friend. Pittsburgh Steelers traveling to Los Angeles to take on the Los Angeles Chargers on Sunday Night Football, Week 10 of the NFL. My name is Steve, and we got your best bets video for this game. We're going to have 2 player props and a spread pick that I think are great value bets for this Steelers-Chargers game. Let's lock in and get a sweep here on Sunday Night Football.
Well, my presence isn't real. It's another bet, one like this is scale. It's straight fire, all my bets straight from. You're in the house, that cab made now. Straight fire.
As always, my friends, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button for me. Always appreciate that. We are on the road to 10,000 subscribers. Appreciate all of your guys' support as always. Let's lock in and have a great Week 10 in the NFL. I'm really excited for the games that we got here in Week 10. It should be a lot of fun, and hopefully we make a lot of money on Sunday. I don't have a results recap for you from our Sunday afternoon games because I'm recording this on Saturday night, so obviously we don't have a recap to do. Hopefully we're doing well as you're watching this. If you guys are watching this during the games, if you're watching this before the games, well, let's all the good graces, guys. We need to have a great Week 10. We had a pretty solid Thursday night. We ended up going 2-1 there, making a little over a half unit. Wasn't obviously our greatest day, but it wasn't very solid. Just what we like to do. Just get them winning vibes going, guys. Don't forget to drop your favorite pick down below in the comment section. Put a star or an asterisk next to your pick, and if your pick does hit in the chat, we'll include your pick in our comment capper section as well. So make sure you guys do that. Obviously, a great way to participate at the channel and what we're doing here at the channel. It's a lot of fun, a fun way to get involved, and also get recognition for putting your pick out. And it's just a fun little program we do. Last thing, just check out the pinned comment and the description for any links you guys are looking for here around the channel in regards to membership, merchandise, social media links. It's all down below in the pinned comment description. Follow us over on X, guys. I'm putting out a lot of stuff on there, putting out all of our write-ups on there, after the video and all that stuff. But it's just a great way to follow us over there and just keep tabs on social media and all that good stuff. So without further ado, though, guys, let's get this sweep. Let's get right into our picks here at number 1. We're going with DK Metcalf, over 49.5 receiving yards here for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Got minus 114 odds on FanDuel, risking a unit here. This is a crazy low line for a guy like Metcalf. Metcalf, as you guys know, has all the talent in the world. He's honestly, I know the numbers don't say it this season, but he's one of the more talented wide receivers in the NFL. The frame, the speed, we've already seen his speed on display this year. He hasn't lost a step. You guys see him on that 80-yard touchdown that he had. I believe it was versus, I want to say it was versus the Vikings. Yeah, it was, because that's part of our research here with this. He hasn't lost a step. It's just, they're just a little out of sync there. Last 4 weeks, they have played against a lot of man coverage, which him and Rodgers both have kind of struggled against. But they're getting a chance to play against more zone this week, which is why I really like Metcalf to go over. For both Aaron Rodgers and for DK Metcalf, this is a much better spot versus zone coverage. Chargers run the second highest rate of zone coverage in the NFL. So I think this is a spot where Metcalf's going to be able to take advantage of this defense a little bit. Even though they do have a good pass defense, this is kind of more made for DK Metcalf to have a decent game. Vikings obviously run a lot of zone, and he absolutely burned them. So I think you could see some of that in this game. Like I said, I think Metcalf, versus a zone, I trust a lot more. He ranks the top among all the Steelers wide receivers as far as how he does versus zone. So I think, I really like the spot for him to find the holes and be able to, hit some plays down the field. Like I said, 49.5 is a crazy low line, especially, you know what I mean, for a receiver on the road too. Usually you have a negative game script going on there, so you usually have to throw the ball. Metcalf has got to get looks. He's got to get the football. He had 6 yards last week versus the Colts. There's no way he replicates that. He's too good. Aaron Rodgers is too good. They're going to get this right here this week. I think this is going to be a great spot for Metcalf to at least get 50. Even though he's had a down year, he still hit this line in 5 out of 8 games. So he's still been pretty decent as far as cashing the line. 2 of 3 on the road. So that's still not bad. That's what I mean. This line is just set a little too low. It's kind of like that Travis Kelce effect that we talked about. We've cashed on Kelce 2 or 3 times this year, all the times that we've played him. And we've kind of mentioned how his line's at 40.5, and I keep going, his line shouldn't be at 40 yards. He's Travis Kelce, guys. It should be at least 50 for a tight end of his caliber. And obviously he was cashing for us. which was obviously fantastic. So I think the Bucs honestly messed up here. I think he goes over. Like I said, the last time he played against, zone was with the Vikings. There he put up 128 yards. So doesn't need to do all that. Just needs 50. I think he gets it done. Love it there for number 1 pick, guys. You got DK Metcalf over 49.5 receiving yards here for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Minus 114 odds here on FanDuel. Okay, and at number 2, we're going Ladd McConkey over 62.5 receiving yards here for the Los Angeles Chargers. We got minus 114 odds on FanDuel. Now, I will tell you this, because I was just scrolling on Fanatics not that long ago. Fanatics actually had his line at 60.5. But I already did up all the graphics and stuff. And the odds are like minus 120 or minus 125. So you can potentially get a little bit better of a number if you guys are like they're on Fanatics. They switch them back and forth, though. Fanatics had it at 65.5, then it bumped down to 60.5. So take a look on Fanatics. You never know. You might be able to catch it at 60.5. They're kind of weird like that. But really love his line here versus the Steelers. He's 3 of his last 4 games to this line, which I like seeing that. This is what I really like, though. This is kind of odd, but he's 2 out of 3 to this line without Joe Alt in the lineup. Joe Alt is their offensive lineman, who's arguably their best offensive lineman. And without them, this offense has been completely different. They have really struggled without Joe Alt in the lineup. However, what that's opened up is actually more targets for Ladd McConkey, because obviously the ball has to come out quicker if you're under pressure, right? McConkey's typically the guy that's going to get those targets if the ball has to come out quick. Same with Oronde Gaston. Those would be the 2 guys I would look at. I would not really look at, even though the Lions are pretty low, Quentin Johnston, Keenan Allen for this game, I wouldn't be looking as much at those guys, because those are guys that their routes have to take time to develop. They're more down the field. Granted, it could happen because at times, obviously, the Steelers have struggled defensively in all areas, even with their pass rush. But you got T.J. Watt there. So I'm reckoning T.J. Watt's gonna wreak some havoc here. Last week, he got back on track versus the Colts. Steelers defense forced 6 turnovers. They finally got some pass rush going. So if that is able to continue this week, obviously the ball's going to have to come out quick. I think McConkey's going to be the guy you want to hit. Or Oronde Gaston. I thought his number was pretty decent. His lines are getting kind of high, though. His receiving line is up in the 50s now, which is a little high for a tight end. I don't like that as much. McConkey here hanging out at 60 yards. I mean, it's definitely a wide receiver 1 line. But also the Steelers have been terrible versus wide receivers this year in general, to all receivers. They don't discriminate. The 32nd in yards allowed to receivers. If you look at number 1 wide receivers versus the Steelers, Michael Pittman, 115. Jamar Chase cooked him for 161. Justin Jefferson, 126. Addison had 115 that game, too. Smith and Jigba, 103. And I didn't even mention T. Higgins for the Bengals, along with Chase there, went over 100, too. So, yeah, it's tough. That's definitely a struggle versus all receivers. But McConkey, I think, has the best shot. Like I said, if the Steelers' defense has kind of fixed itself a little bit, McConkey's still going to be the guy that you want because he is the number 1 wide receiver. Like I said, without Joe Alt in the lineup, he's averaging over 10 targets a game in those 3 games without Joe Alt. So it kind of shows you where Justin Herbert is looking to go when he has to get rid of that ball quick. It's going to be to McConkey. That's his safety blanket. So I think McConkey goes over. Love it there for number 2 pick, guys. We got Ladd McConkey over 62.5 receiving yards here for the Los Angeles Chargers. Minus 114 odds here on FanDuel. Okay, and finally at number 3, we're going Pittsburgh Steelers plus 3 spread here versus the Indianapolis Colts. We're going minus 115 odds on Fanatics. So like I mentioned, the big thing that I'm looking at this game is really 2 things that I'm thinking about. For one, the Chargers are down Joe Alt. And I just mentioned how big that's really been as far as what it does to the passing game, and the Chargers really takes away their vertical threats. Just because they don't have time to let those routes develop. Obviously, if you don't have time to throw the ball, you can't load and throw the deep ball like Herbert is so good at. That's what makes the Chargers' offense so good. If you take that away, they're extremely pedestrian at best. Their offense has really struggled without Joe Alt in there. So it'll be interesting to see obviously how this goes. And the Steelers, like I said, got that pass rush going last week. Forced 6 takeaways. Really played much better on that side of the ball and beat, in my opinion, the best team in the NFL at the time, the Indianapolis Colts. Now, people are going to say it different now because obviously they lost. But at the time, coming into that game, really felt like the Colts were the best team in the NFL. Both sides of the ball, they were cleaning house. They were running the ball, playing defense. Danny Jones was playing well. And then all of a sudden, the Steelers humbled them. That score was actually a lot worse than it looked. The Steelers dominated that game versus the Colts. So, I think here, get a little positive momentum going. You start making people believe this defense, I think, is back a bit here for the Steelers. I think they'll get that pass rush going. And like I said, I think TJ Watt is going to be causing some problems here. And the consistency is going to be lacking for this Chargers offense. Even though I think McConkey goes over, I think the overall success of the Chargers is going to be somewhat limited here. Like I said, the all injury is so massive to me. It really has made a big difference. With Joel in there, Herbert's quarterback rate is 80. Drops all the way to 56 without him in there. That's wild. That's a huge drop-off for Justin Herbert. That's less than pedestrian numbers. That's not good. So, like I said, for what the Steelers were able to do last week versus the Colts, with the pass rush and overall, Rodgers managed the game. They didn't force things too much, and they didn't even really play that great offensively. Like I said, Metcalf had 6 receiving yards, so obviously I think he's going to produce more, and I think the Steelers' offense could do a lot better too. So I really think this is a great spot here for the Steelers to at least cover the number here. So love it there for number 3 pick, guys. Going Pittsburgh Steelers +3 on the spread here versus the Los Angeles Chargers -115 odds on Fanatics. All right, guys, that is it for our picks. As always, if you guys enjoyed the content, make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe button. Always appreciate that. On the road to 10,000 subscribers. Let's lock in, cash these bets, guys, make some money on Sunday Night Football, and start stacking units. What do you guys say? All right, that's going to do it for me. You guys have a great rest of your day. We'll catch you next time. Peace out.